There are cars that make you smile. There are cars that make you dream. And then there's the Lexus LFA, a car that made the entire world stop and listen. When the LFA appeared, it wasn't just another supercar from Japan. It was something else, something deeper. It was a statement, a declaration that perfection isn't just about power or speed or numbers. It's about passion, precision, and sound. This wasn't a car built for mass production or profit. It was a car built for the soul. The engineers at Lexus didn't set out to build the fastest car in the world. They set out to build the most perfect one. Every curve, every screw, every note of that V10 engine was crafted with a single purpose: to create emotion. The Lexus LFA isn't just a machine. It's a masterpiece. It's what happens when a company known for quiet luxury decides to chase a dream, no matter the cost. For nearly a decade, Lexus engineers worked in silence, away from the spotlight, refining every detail, every sound, every sensation. And when they were finally done, they didn't just make a car. They made a legend. A car so pure, so precise, that it redefined what a Japanese supercar could be. It wasn't about showing off. It was about showing the world that Lexus, the brand everyone thought was calm, quiet, and comfortable, could also create a masterpiece that screams to 9,000 revolutions per minute. The Lexus LFA isn't loud just for attention. It sings. It speaks. It tells a story of obsession, of patience, of engineering that borders on art. This is not just a car. It's the Lexus LFA, the collector's legend. In the early 2000s, Lexus had already built a reputation for flawless reliability, quiet comfort, and refined luxury. Their cars were smooth, elegant, and perfect for everyday life. But behind the calm, something was brewing. A small group of engineers inside Toyota's headquarters began to dream, not about comfort or convenience, but about passion. They wanted to prove something the world didn't expect: that Japan could create a supercar to stand proudly beside the greatest names in automotive history: Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche. They wanted to show that precision could feel alive, that reliability could be exciting, that Lexus could make a car that would stir your emotions as much as it impressed your logic. This idea didn't come from marketing or sales. It came from engineers, true car enthusiasts, who wanted to push beyond limits. Their mission was simple, yet almost impossible: create the perfect driver's car. They didn't care how long it would take. They didn't care how much it would cost. They cared about one thing: excellence. From the very beginning, the Lexus LFA was never meant to be ordinary. It was designed to be a symbol, a message from Japan to the world that passion and precision can exist together in perfect harmony. This was the start of a journey that would take nearly a decade. A journey fueled by obsession, discipline, and the relentless pursuit of perfection. The vision was clear: build a car that wouldn't just compete, but inspire. And from that vision, the legend began to take shape. Perfection takes time, and for Lexus, time wasn't a problem. It was a necessity. The Lexus LFA wasn't born overnight. Its creation spanned nearly 10 years of research, testing, failure, and refinement. Every part of the car was questioned, rebuilt, and reimagined. Nothing was rushed. Nothing was compromised. In the early prototypes, the LFA was made from aluminum, strong but not perfect. During testing, engineers realized that to achieve the precision they wanted, they needed something even lighter, something stronger. So they started again, from scratch. They rebuilt the car using carbon fiber reinforced polymer, a material known for its strength and flexibility. But there was a problem. Lexus didn't have the tools to make it, so they built their own machines. custom carbon fiber looms capable of weaving materials to their exact standards. That decision alone took years, but it defined the car's soul, because the LFA wasn't just designed. It was crafted, piece by piece, by people who refused to accept good enough. Every test led to another improvement. Every prototype led to another breakthrough. And every sound, vibration, and curve was tuned to perfection, from racetracks to wind tunnels, from scorching deserts to frozen test fields. The LFA endured it all. Engineers chase perfection the way artists chase inspiration. The world didn't see much of the LFA during those years. Just whispers, spy shots, and rumors. But behind closed doors, history was being written. By the time it was ready, the LFA wasn't just another supercar. It was the result of relentless dedication, uncompromising vision, and pure craftsmanship. A car that could only exist because its creators refused to give up. 10 years, countless challenges, one legend, finally ready to roar. At the center of the Lexus LFA lies its greatest masterpiece, a 4.8-liter, naturally aspirated V10 engine. It wasn't just built to perform, it was built to sing. Lexus partnered with Yamaha, not just their automotive division, but their musical instrument engineers, to fine-tune the sound. The result? An engine note so pure, so emotional, it could make your skin tingle. From idle to 9,000 RPM, the LFA's V10 doesn't growl like a typical supercar. It screams like a Formula One racer from the golden era. It revs from idle to redline in 0.6 seconds, faster than a traditional analog tachometer could even follow. That's why the LFA uses a digital gauge cluster, the only way to keep up with its speed and fury. Tie to horsepower, 354 pound-feet of torque, a top speed of over 200 miles per hour. But those numbers only tell half the story, because the LFA's engine isn't just about power. It's about emotion. Every piston, every valve, every sound wave was tuned for feel, not statistics. When you press the throttle, the response is instant. The car doesn't just accelerate, it comes alive. The way it climbs through the revs is symphonic. The higher it goes, the sharper and cleaner the sound becomes, as if the engine itself is celebrating every revolution. And yet, despite its wild nature, it remains perfectly balanced, compact, lightweight, and positioned behind the front axle for ideal weight distribution, giving the LFA a front mid-engine layout that feels pure and precise. It's not just an engine, it's a living, breathing heart, beating at 9,000 RPM, crafted by people who understood that sound is as important as speed. The LFA's V10 isn't loud to impress. It's loud because it has something to say. This is not just engineering. This is art in motion. Close your eyes and listen. You don't just hear the Lexus LFA. You feel it. That high-pitched wail, that mechanical scream. It isn't noise, it's music. The LFA's sound was one of the most carefully engineered aspects of the entire car. Yamaha's acoustic team, the same people who designed concert pianos and symphonic instruments, worked hand in hand with Lexus engineers to shape how the car breathes, how it roars, and how it echoes. What they created is something truly unique, a sound that begins as a deep growl, rises to a metallic howl, and finishes as a chilling, spine-tingling note that lingers in the air. Every frequency, every vibration, every decibel was tuned with surgical precision. There are 3 distinct sound layers, one from the intake, one from the cabin, and one from the exhaust. Together, they create an experience that surrounds you completely. A 360-degree symphony of controlled chaos. Inside the cabin, the sound is immersive yet pure. You hear the V10's heartbeat pulsing through the steering wheel. You feel the resonance travel through the carbon chassis, and you sense every rev as if the car is communicating directly with you. At full throttle, the LFA produces one of the most breathtaking sounds in automotive history. A sound often compared to an F1 car at its peak. It's not artificial. It's not enhanced. It's the result of perfect engineering and emotional intent. This sound isn't just a byproduct. It's the soul of the car. It's the part that connects driver and machine on a level words can't describe. Some cars make noise. The Lexus LFA makes music. And in that music lies perfection, a harmony between art, technology, and passion that no other car has ever quite replicated. The LFA doesn't ask to be heard, it demands it. The Lexus LFA isn't just beautiful, it's purposeful. Every line, every vent, every curve exists for a reason. Its design wasn't sculpted in a studio to look dramatic on posters. It was shaped by air, by physics, precision, and aerodynamic efficiency. The body's sweeping profile guides air perfectly over and around the car, feeding the V10 with oxygen, cooling the brakes, and keeping the car stable at incredible speeds. Even the smallest details, like the shape of the mirrors or the curve of the tail, were tested, refined, and perfected. From a distance, it looks elegant. Up close, it's aggressive. A mix of grace and raw intent. The same balance the LFA represents in its performance. The long nose, the low stance, the sharp headlights. It all works together to give the LFA its unmistakable presence. It doesn't scream for attention, but when it appears, you can't look away. Step inside, and the story continues. The interior isn't cluttered with screens or distractions. It's focused, designed entirely around the driver. Every surface feels intentional. Carbon fiber, Alcantara, and aluminum come together in a perfect symphony of texture and form. The seats cradle you, like a racing cockpit, but with the comfort Lexus is known for. Front and center is the digital instrument cluster. Not just a gauge, but a piece of art. It transforms as you drive, shifting its colors and layout depending on your mode and RPM. It was inspired by precision instruments and designed for one purpose: to make the driver feel completely in sync with the car. There's no excess here, no pointless luxury, just a pure, functional beauty that mirrors the car's philosophy. Everything exists for performance. The LFA's design reflects its creator's mindset. Obsessed with detail, guided by discipline, and driven by passion, it's not about making a loud statement. It's about whispering perfection and letting the details do the talking. Because when design and engineering work together this flawlessly, you don't just see the difference, you feel it. To drive the Lexus LFA is to experience something truly rare. A perfect connection between human and machine. This car doesn't just respond to your inputs. It anticipates them from the first moment you sit behind the wheel. Everything feels alive. The steering is razor sharp, the throttle instant, the feedback crystal clear. Every vibration, every sound, every movement is intentional. A direct conversation between driver and car. The LFA isn't intimidating. It's precise, confident, surgical. It wants you to push, to explore its limits. And when you do, it rewards you with one of the most exhilarating experiences ever engineered. The chassis, made from carbon fiber, is light yet unbelievably strong. It gives the car a sense of balance that feels almost supernatural. Turn the wheel and the car moves with you. Fluid, graceful, perfectly measured. At high speeds, It feels stable and planted, but never numb. Every corner, every apex, every shift feels alive with feedback. The sound of the V10 builds with each gear, and suddenly you realize, this isn't a machine you control. It's a machine you collaborate with. Even the brakes, carbon ceramic and incredibly powerful, feel more like instruments than tools. They don't just stop the car. They let you sculpt your pace with precision. The 6-speed automated manual gearbox snaps through shifts in milliseconds, each one punctuated by the howl of that engine. It's not the fastest system by modern standards, but it's deliberate, raw, mechanical in a way that makes every drive personal. The LFA doesn't chase lap times. It chases emotion, and that's what sets it apart from everything else. It's not about being the quickest or the most advanced. It's about how it makes you feel when you're behind the wheel. The heartbeat that syncs with yours, the sound that seems to pulse through your veins, and the connection that makes you forget where the car ends and you begin. For many, driving the LFA isn't just an experience. It's a moment of clarity, a reminder that true perfection isn't cold or robotic. It's alive, emotional, and unforgettable. This is what driving is supposed to feel like. This is the Lexus LFA. Perfection doesn't come easy. And for the Lexus LFA, perfection came with extreme exclusivity. Only 500 units were ever built. Each one was hand-assembled by a small dedicated team at the Motomachi plant in Japan, a facility reserved for Lexus's most advanced projects. This wasn't a mass production line. It was a workshop where every technician wore white gloves and treated the car like a piece of fine art. Each LFA took nearly 3 months to complete, and only one car left the factory each day. Every piece, from the carbon fiber body to the smallest interior detail, was checked, tested, and perfected before it left the floor. Lexus offered buyers endless customization, paint colors, interior finishes, trim materials, all tailored to the owner's preference. But no matter the combination, one thing remained the same. Every LFA was built with absolute precision. When it launched in 2010, the price was around $375,000. Many people were shocked. A Lexus? Priced like a Ferrari or Lamborghini? It seemed unthinkable, but Lexus didn't care. They knew what they had created. This wasn't a car for everyone. It was a car for believers. The LFA wasn't about profit or prestige. In fact, Lexus reportedly lost money on every single one, because for them, this car wasn't a product. It was a statement, a demonstration of what could happen when engineering, artistry, and passion come together without compromise. And that's what makes the LFA so special today. Because rarity isn't just about how few exist. It's about how few are made with this level of dedication. Every LFA carries a soul, a signature, a story. It's not just a number in a production run. It's a masterpiece born from obsession. 500 cars, each one unique, each one perfect, each one a legend. When the Lexus LFA first hit the road, many people didn't understand it. It wasn't the fastest. It wasn't the most powerful. And at $375,000, it was far more expensive than anyone expected from Lexus. But time has a way of revealing greatness. Years passed, and the world began to realize what the LFA truly was. It wasn't built to dominate sales charts or headline drag races. It was built to show what happens when engineering becomes art. Collectors started to take notice. Journalists called it the best car Lexus ever made, and one of the best cars ever made, period. Every review ended with the same feeling. The LFA was something special, something that connected with people on a level most cars simply couldn't reach. And slowly, its value began to rise. Cars that once sat unsold in dealerships became treasures. Collectors who passed on them regretted it, and those who owned one realized they were holding a piece of history. Today, the Lexus LFA is a modern classic. Clean examples now sell for over $1 million, some even higher, not because of hype, but because people finally understand what it represents. The LFA isn't just rare, it's meaningful. It represents a time when car companies were willing to chase dreams, to build something not because they had to, but because they wanted to. It's proof that perfection doesn't need to shout. It can whisper and still echo forever. The LFA's legacy isn't about numbers or speed. It's about how it makes you feel. It's about sound, precision, and soul. The kind of qualities that never age. Today, the LFA stands among legends. It's not remembered as just a Lexus. It's remembered as a moment in time, when human passion triumphed over corporate logic. And that's why its value keeps climbing. Because how do you put a price on perfection? Time passes, trends fade, but some creations never lose their magic. The Lexus LFA is one of them. More than a decade after its debut, it still feels untouchable. A car that stands alone, beyond comparison, beyond category. It wasn't built to compete. It was built to inspire. Every LFA carries a soul, a heartbeat forged from passion and precision. It's not just a machine. It's a memory captured in carbon and sound. A reminder of what can happen when engineers are allowed to dream without limits. To collectors, the LFA is more than a rare car. It's a symbol of purity in a world that's moving towards silence and automation. While modern supercars chase speed with electric motors and hybrid systems, the LFA remains proudly analog, a living, breathing masterpiece from a different era. It doesn't need turbos. It doesn't need batteries. All it needs is a road, a driver, and a clear stretch of sky. Owning an LFA isn't about status. It's about understanding what it represents. The discipline of Japanese engineering, the artistry of sound, and the relentless pursuit of something greater than perfection. Each time that 4.8-liter V10 roars to life, it reminds the world what true passion sounds like. That raw, angelic scream echoing off the asphalt. It's not just noise. It's history. The LFA is the kind of car that will be talked about for generations. A creation so pure that it transcends time itself. Because the Lexus LFA wasn't built for everyone. It was built for those who understand. A collector's legend, forever.